Good morning, everybody. I hope you're doing great. It's September 30th, 10:30 a.m. And today we're getting into geoengineering. I've been working on staying more positive instead of focusing on negative things, because what you focus on, you manifest. But what you don't know can affect you in a way. Now, ultimately, we're more powerful than anything physical, and we're choosing to experience this reality. The issue is that many people don't know they're manifesting. They don't know what they're doing in terms of how their consciousness works. So the people who do know how it works, I talked about earlier, the egos that are out of balance, people that do things like this. I'm not going to read the whole thing here, but I'll pause here for a moment. You can see what it says. There are people who, out of balance egos, who love to stay here and control, and they will do that at any cost, because otherwise they have to take accountability for their actions that they've done and start paying back that karmic debt, and they're just not ready to take that step yet. One day they will, but in the meantime, they can influence those who are asleep at the wheel, don't realize that people are affecting them in a way. So geoengineering is one of those aspects. This is a great website, Dane right here. I've spoke to him a few times. He's brilliant, and he's very, very dedicated. I got 35 million people here. That's excellent to see. I hope I can help boost that in some way, just to get some more information out. But let's just roll into it. So first and foremost, I'd like to hit you guys with in-the-face facts, because this is a subject that a lot of people are saying, no, that's crazy, it's impossible, there's no way we can control the weather or affect the weather. They just don't understand how things work and how we work and how powerful we truly are. We manifest this reality. We are source. Source gives us that power, so you can use it for good or bad. Now, I'm not saying they're using it for good or bad. I'm saying they are using it. Now, there are people who have been out of harmony, that have been running the show for a long time, and it seems like the good guys are finally taking back power. But again, we'll see what Trump does. There are some things he's doing that are fantastic, but there are some things he can do that he's not doing yet that would be incredible for us all. So we'll see if he does those things. One of them is freeing sacred plants, and releasing anyone in jail that's been put in a cage because of treating themselves with a sacred plant. But not to digress here. This is a Committee on Commerce, Science, and Transportation, United States Senate. So this is an official U.S. government document. You see down here, U.S. Government Printing Office, 1978. So 1978, that was 58 years ago. I'm 34 this time around, right now. They've been doing this longer than I've been alive, and probably a lot of you have been alive that are watching this. So here we go, Chapter 5, Federal Activities in Weather Modification. Here's the people that are involved. Overview of federal activities. The federal government has been involved for over 30 years. Over 30 years in a number of aspects of weather modification through activities of both the Congress and the executive branch. So, right there, argument's over. The government, this is a government document. They are telling you literally, and people are still denying, nope, can't be true. No, they are telling you right here. In 1978, they have been doing it for over 30 years. And it's been involved with the Congress and the executive branch. So since 1947, this is the end of World War II. And again, World War II didn't end the way we are taught. We'll get into that in another video. But the Nazis didn't lose. They reorganized. Many of them infiltrated our country through Operation Paperclip. There were people already in places of power that were infiltrated and subverting. Watch that movie Captain America 2, Winter Soldier. What they describe in that movie with the S.H.I.E.L.D. guys, they're literally telling you what happened in Operation Paperclip. The Nazis came over and took things over, and slowly but surely, if you put a smart person that wants to do bad in a room full of people that don't understand what they understand, you're going to see that room manipulated pretty quickly. So it's important to understand, listen to your heart, trust your divine source of intuition. We have a lie detector test built in, the best in the universe. How we use it, if we choose to use it, is up to us. So since 1947, weather modification bills pertaining to research support, operations, policy studies, regulations, liabilities, activity reporting, establishment of panels and committees, and international concerns have been introduced in the Congress. So not only have they been doing it, they've had actual regulations, liabilities, activity reporting, and had panels created to, a congressional committee to make sure you're doing your job correctly, that these people who are doing this have to report to. And again, whether they're really reporting to them, I mean, there's off-books budgets, and there's a lot more going on, but at least the surface level, they know about it, and the Congress knows about it, and they're telling us right here. There have been hearings on many of these proposed measures, and oversight hearings have also been conducted on pertinent ongoing programs. So right there, people may say, oh, no, they have been hearing on many of these proposed measures. That means they're not doing it yet. Yeah, they're proposing new measures to do, but hearings have also been conducted on pertinent ongoing programs. So they have been doing this. This is a fact. This is indisputable. A total of 6 public laws specifically on weather modification have been enacted since 1953, while others have included provisions which in some way are relevant to weather modification. Resolutions dealing with the use of weather modification technology as a weapon by U.S. military forces and promotion of the UN treaty prohibiting such activities have been introduced in both houses of the Congress, and one such resolution was passed by the Senate. So I encourage you please to read through this more. There's a lot of information on this website that's really going to help you if you truly want to understand or help someone else understand that the weather is being modified. That's not a question if, it's a question of why. That's the question. Why are they doing it? Now, there's a lot going on. We'll get into in other videos of the why, but this video is mainly to prove that they are doing it, and if anyone that doubts it, and they look at this, they're simply just choosing not to accept it. It's cognitive dissonance. It's too big of a gap to bridge for their mind to comprehend and say, oh yeah, okay, I see it. No, they just want to deny it. But this is actual. This isn't me. This isn't my wording. This isn't Dane Wingington's wording. This is the United States Congress and Transportation. Committee on Commerce, Science, and Transportation. This is the United States Senate. So that's there. That's out in the public domain. You can look it up, find it, research it for yourself. Moving on. House 2977, Space Preservation Act of 2001, introduced in House, 107th Congress, first session. House Resolution 2977, Preservation, Cooperation, and Peaceful Uses of Space for the Benefit of All Humankind by permanently prohibiting the basing of weapons in space by the United States, and to require the President to take action to adopt and implement a world treaty banning space-based weapons. So, in 2001, they said you can't put weapons in space, and the President has to act to stop that from happening. Take action to adopt and implement a world treaty banning space-based weapons. So they agree that it's dangerous. They don't want to do this. We'll get into that. Put this one in the back burner. Next, what do we have here? Weather modification by artificial satellites. This is a patent. I'm not sure. I've never pulled a patent myself. I'm not sure if you have, but I know people that have, and I know it's not just write a piece of paper of an idea you have and throw it out there. You have to prove what you're saying. You have to show that it's viable, that it's relevant, that it's worthy of being patented. So it doesn't get patented, it doesn't get approved if it's something that's impossible and they can't do or they haven't done. That's how patents work. Describing putting a ring of satellites. Elon Musk, 5G, Starlink. 5G, yeah, I'll let you guys make up your own mind. But this is just to scroll through what the plan is with satellites and using mirrors and things to reflect sunlight and signals from Earth and everything else that they're planning on doing. Another patent, 1951. Process for controlling weather. This is dealing with how to control the weather. I encourage you, I'm not going to sit here and read all these because this video is going to go on for a very long time if I do that, but these are patents I'm showing you that you can pull up and read yourself. So in 1951, there's a patent in the United States Patent Office, that's the number, for controlling the weather. This is from 1932. Atomizing attachment for airplane engine exhaust. So those what we're told are contrails by the people who doubt this and haven't researched it beyond the news telling them what to think. They say, oh, that's just plain exhaust. Yeah, there's exhaust there for sure. You know, when hot air is exhausted in cold air, you're going to have condensation. But that condensation doesn't last. It doesn't spread out to a sheen of cloud. It doesn't block out the sunlight. So there is both going on. There are actual devices that they use. This is from 1932, and it's an apparatus that sprays aerosol into the air. The purpose of the outer ventures tube is to confine the high velocity atomized discharge from the tube. It's, again, I'm not going to sit here and read this whole thing. If you're interested in it, you'll read it, but this is for anyone to look at if you doubt what I'm saying, what other people are saying about the weather actually being affected by not only consciousness, but also physical devices. Let's see what we have here. Oh, my birthday month, November 1891. It's 130 years ago. Method for producing rainfall. So that was on the books 130 years ago, how to produce rainfall. Here is actually, you know what? Let's go back to this first. There's a couple more I want to show. I want to show you the list, what to look for. So when you're on the geoengineering website, go to patents. Pops up a list. And trademark office. So here's a list. This is why I'm not showing you and reading you all of these, because there is an abundant amount of proof showing that we have been well aware of manipulation of weather. We have been working on it for a long time, and they've been getting very, very good at doing this. So when you're saying fire in California can't be prevented, it's global warming, which the globe is actually cooling. That's just another way. They again, when you're dealing with a person who's not awake, their subconscious is running most of their life, 90% of it. And I'm even people who are aware, more aware. I'm not saying mine is any higher, you know, my conscious mind is any higher than 10%. I believe it is, but again, this isn't about who's better or worse or who's smarter. There are people who don't think for themselves and they follow the pattern, the herd mentality, and there are people who think for themselves. People who think for themselves see this, they look at this evidence, they research this, and they say, wow, okay, well, somebody put a lot of money and effort and energy into doing this, and there's been a lot of time and a lot of projects and a lot more money going into it since then. So obviously they figured it out. If they didn't, all of these patents would not exist. They would have said, all right, guys, you can't do it, forget it. So laser optical measure device for stabilizing fringe pattern spacing. Let's pull this one up. Okay, taking your time. (1990) Laser optical measuring device and method for stabilizing fringe pattern spacing. I've never seen this one. So it's talking about dispersing, scattering light. spacing consequently measure this frequency and knowledge of the fringe pattern spacing to determine the velocity of the object or particle. So this is actually for measuring the actual dispersion, the density of the dispersing agents that they're using in the sky. So when you spray things in the sky to manipulate the weather, you need a way to have feedback. How is it working? Is it working? And this is one of those devices. So if they weren't doing this, they wouldn't need devices to detect how they're doing when they're doing it. Moving on. Method for suppressing formation of contrails in solution, therefore. So this is for suppressing the contrails. Huh. Maybe they suppress the contrails and then just use the geoengineering trails, and then that way you don't have double trails and it says, oh wow, there's obviously two lines coming out there. I'm not saying that's what this is, I'm just guessing it at this point right here. It is one object of the present invention to provide an improved method for suppressing the formation of contrails from the exhaustive engine in a highly efficient manner. Another object of the present invention is to provide improved solutions for suppressing the formation of contrails from the exhaustive engine, and which can be produced simply and economically, and which are not combustible or corrosive. Other objects in it. So why they're blocking the production of contrails with for method for suppressing formation of contrails and solution, therefore. Now, can that be meaning there's a solution for the contrails, or is it also dispersing a solution that they are spraying? I'll let you decide that. Alright, it keeps going, I'm not going to open any more of these unless something really catches my eye, because there's a lot here. But please, if anyone around you doubts that it's possible and that they're doing this, they're affecting our weather, go to this website, watch my video, share the video, or watch geoengineering. This guy does videos all the time. Go to his YouTube channel. Here's another one, documents. This is the other section I like to go to. So this was the massive Senate document, this one right here. This one I find is the best for people to see, because it's literally an official document saying we're doing this, we've been doing it since 1947 at least. So, you know, it's a very good document to pull up for people who doubt what's going on. But there's Agenda 21. The UN, in my opinion, is designed to destroy America. If you look at Russell J. Gould's work, /Russell-J /Gould. I'll explain another video why he writes his name that way. /David-Wynn Miller. There's a lot of them out there, and again, I'm not saying any one of them are right or wrong, but they do share a lot of information that I choose to look at, discern for myself, and take what makes sense and what doesn't make sense I put on the back burner for later, evaluating. Agenda 21, the United Nations. When you walk in the United Nations, outside the flag has a globe on it. Inside it has a spear, a spire, a point. That means you're at war. So once you walk in that building, it's telling you that they're at war with you, with the people. So flag etiquette, what the flags mean, the flag pole, what the pole icon on top means is very important. They're talking to us, but because we're not taught this in schools or pretty much anywhere else, they can sit there and tell you what they're doing to you and you have no clue. Your subconscious gets it, but if you're disconnected from your subconscious, you have no idea. So again, their goal, United Nations, in my opinion, is to remove probably about 90% of the population of the planet and then run whatever's left. In my opinion, it is a parasitic. The League of Nations originally, I think, had good intentions, but when they were taken over, turned to the United Nations, that's when things got dark. And that was after World War II, when the Nazis were in Operation Paperclip, infiltrated the United States and Russia. So the Nazis that were losing in the all-out battle against the world decided, hold on, we're not going to win this against everybody, we need to fight in a different way. And then they moved all their smart people out, went to South America, went to Antarctica. Some say they went to the moon. I'm not going to go there right now, but we know for a fact, Operation Paperclip, a lot of the Nazi scientists, including von Braun, were brought into the United States under NASA and other secret agencies to pretty much give us the information that they gathered. But again, if you have somebody really smart and there's somebody not that smart, that smart person's gonna find a way. If they have no moral compass, or if their compass is skewed to the point of out of balance ego and they want to control, they're gonna find a way to control you. If you don't know what they're doing and you're not thinking for yourself, you're asleep at the wheel. Yeah. So I can definitely see that a few smart Nazis got into the government of the United States and Russia and pretty much probably all over the world and started infiltrating and taking over from within. Again, watch that movie Captain America 2. These people use Hollywood to tell us. The word Hollywood, the old wands they used to use back in the day, Merlin, that wand was made out of Hollywood, a holly tree. So it's designed to cast a spell on you to keep you asleep, in my opinion. And don't get me wrong, I've watched plenty of movies. It doesn't mean you have to be asleep. They're trying to, but you are far more powerful than anything they're doing to you. You always have been, always will be. That's number one lesson. You are far more powerful. Source. We are all more powerful than any ego. The question is, do you want to pay attention? So enough of digressing into that rant, but again, the United Nations, I completely disagree with what they're doing. They use the guise of helping and sustainability and helping the economy, the environment, but they're doing the opposite. So I'm going to do another video on that, the environment, and how completely opposite of health is what's going on. But these are all documents you can glance at, look at, whatever you want to do, send people who doubt, and just research it for yourself. There's more than enough proof. Here's tests, lab tests that they're talking about. Finds unexplained aluminum. Let's pull that one up. No preview. Well, we don't want the preview, we want the whole thing. Again, some of these are being deleted, so you have to go through. Rainwater test of 2001. Let's see this one. I don't know about that website. Again, I haven't gone through this area before I did the video, so we're seeing this live as we go. Chemtrail spraying in our skies. Tank was tracked by radar. Lab test raised concerns by William Thomas. This was in 2003. Okay, so this is somebody actually tracking. Buried metal aluminum, assuming that the unusual metal content of soil could be caused. So they did lab tests. Aluminum, 0.148 milligrams. Car battery. Barium chemtrails developed by Ohio's Wright Patterson Air Force Base. Originally sprayed atmospheric conduct toward better military radio and radio waves, but horizon instead. So, I mean, they're using things for war, but aluminum stuns plant growth by sucking nutrients from the soil. Not only that, aluminum is found in most deodorants. Look up, like, I used to use, I don't know about calling names out, but the one deodorant I used to use had aluminum in it. Your armpits are the closest way to your bloodstream from your skin, from outside your body. It goes right in your armpits, into your bloodstream, and you have aluminum in the blood. That aluminum builds up in the brain. Look up what causes Alzheimer's disease when you have time, and you will find that everyone that has Alzheimer's has high aluminum in the brain. They have plaque buildup. They also have fluoride in the brain. Fluoride is being put in our tap water, in our toothpaste, and a lot of other places. So fluoride and aluminum work magnetically, going back to the torus. Everything has charge, has magnetic and electric charge, the dielectric field. So aluminum and fluoride working together coagulate. I was going to say coalesce, but they coagulate in the brain, building plaque, which then prevents some of the electrical flow, which means you have memory loss, motor function loss. Your brain is just being polluted and filled with toxins that don't belong in there. Aluminum in these amounts does not belong in our body. I'll be honest, I don't think aluminum in any amount belongs in our body, but I don't know everything. But in the amounts that we're finding it in, it does not belong in our body. These air traffic controllers were also concerned over tanker spread emissions just after Christmas 2001. So again, please just research it if you need to. I mean, if you already know what's happening, you don't need to, but having some information here, this website, he's got DVDs, books, I got his bumper stickers, I got one of his pamphlets. Let me see where his pamphlets are. Let's go back to the home page. So I got these pamphlets to show people. I got this whole pack right here. The books and things, I pass them out to people, and once you see these books and you look at this, you can actually see proof. See these lines? Yeah, there's contrails for sure in the world. That exists. I'm not arguing that. That's common sense. Hot air and cold air is going to make some condensation. But when they're in lines like this that somebody's deliberately spraying and then it spreads out across the whole sky like this, that is not natural. That is not just contrails, persistent contrails, some people call them, I've heard. See how this spreads out? That is geoengineering. That is blanketing the sky. And if you notice, before Trump took office, this stuff was everywhere. Even during Trump's years, but before the pandemic started, this stuff was everywhere as well. In my opinion, they were using the high frequency traffic. Actually, let's pull this up real quick. This is going to be cool. You guys are going to like this. If you've never seen it. Even if you've seen it, you're going to like this. So they were using the high traffic air as cover for, it's got to be contrails. There's thousands of planes up there every day. When the pandemic hit and everything shut down, they went down big time. So obviously, if you're spraying the sky and using airplanes as cover, and then there's less airplanes, that means you have less cover, which means they need to... How do I close that? I don't want to do that. So, let's zoom out. This is Flight Radar 24. That's astounding. Every one of those planes are pumping out tons of jet fuel, and some of them are spraying the atmosphere like this. So let's do a quick search. Total fuel consumption of commercial airlines worldwide between 2005 and 2001. What is this? Fuel consumption in billions of gallons. Holy cow. 98 billion gallons of jet fuel a year. 2020 pre-COVID. 2019. So that was, hold on. 2020 pre-COVID. COVID start. When did COVID officially start? I mean, I knew it was out in October of 19. So I think they officially started this in like March, maybe. So how, that doesn't seem accurate. If they had 98 right before, and then 2020 post-COVID is 60, and then 2021 that's projection. But let's go over to the blue that's already official and in the books. Even go to the low end, 68 billion gallons of jet fuel being sprayed in the skies. So you have that, as well as this geoengineering in our atmosphere. Look at the planes we have above us at all times. I don't want to be rude, but if you believe this is okay, we really need some more conversations, because this is not okay. Number one, hold on, let's pull up, where do I have it? I don't want to browse too much while I'm on this video with you guys, because I'm not sure where I have it. have it, guys. I'm gonna pull it up another day, but there are another video will do. There are actual patents for crafts that use clean energy. There are patents that are blocked from us. I've heard 6,000 free energy. There are in the Vedas. We're definitely doing another video on this, but I'm just for now. Let me say this, and then I'll prove it to you in the next video or another video whenever I do it. We've always had access to clean energy, water. You can apply electricity, the correct harmonic frequency, the correct charge of electricity to a water molecule to crack the water molecule. When you do that, you have oxygen and hydrogen. Those are both fuels. They burn. So by using electricity to crack water, you release, number one, steam, which is energy. You could be using that for energy, but also the individual atoms of hydrogen and oxygen, which are fuel. So apply the correct frequency to those, and boom, you have power. A lot of power. Look at the hydrogen bomb. They're doing a similar thing. So we've always had access, to clean energy. That means that someone, whoever's behind this, out of balance egos, in my opinion, are choosing to use that much fuel. This is just planes, commercial planes, right? Commercial airlines worldwide. So that's just commercial planes. That's not the military. And I've heard the military is the biggest polluters in terms of traffic because, number one, they don't always have to follow certain regulations that the commercial industries do. They also have bombs that they drop and blow up that produce way more pollution than even the plane jets. So you have a combination of soot from planes, billions of, well, let's see, what do we have exactly? Last year was 96 billion gallons of jet fuel that was burned above us. It doesn't disappear. You have hydrocarbons and all kinds of pollution in there that is in the atmosphere, and then eventually, because of the Earth's magnetism, gravity, it gets pulled to the ground. It gets sequestered in the oceans. It gets sequestered in the soil, in our food. It makes things acidic. The ocean is becoming acidic because we are polluting it with this stuff instead of, oh, it's, global warming. It's, we got to charge you guys carbon emissions. No, stop building the things to produce the carbon emissions. And carbon isn't the problem in the first place. The actual problem is the way we're doing things. We are living out of balance. Every one of these jets, every one of them, can be running on water or clean energy, magnetism. All of them. We have crafts to do this. I don't want you to believe me. I'll do that as another video. So, there are plenty of planes. You can hide 1,000 geoengineering planes in here and nobody would know. It would look like contrails until it spreads out, and the people who are actually paying attention would say, wait a minute, that's not normal, something's going on. And that's what's happening. There's officials, agencies, there's people everywhere around the world that are all about, that's Dane right there. There's people all around the world doing things, explaining this. But the problem is, a lot of people just don't want to hear it because they don't believe it's possible. It's absolutely possible. So, who's doing this? It's out of balance ego. But I mean, for starters, I'm just gonna we'll read this real quick to end the video. If you guys don't want to hear me read this, just you can screenshot it and read it for yourself. But this is the Secret Covenant Part 1. I'm not saying this is something I found floating around the internet, so I'm not saying this is someone's actual covenant that they wrote. But I am saying that there are people out there, for a fact, based on what I see in the world and what we all see in the world and feel, there are people who are doing these things. So whether this is somebody who noticed these things and put together a covenant saying this is what's going on, or it's actually someone's covenant, but it is happening. So it doesn't matter where this document came from. What matters is that it's actually happening, and it's time to speak up and change it. So, have a sip of tea. Alright, an illusion it will be, so large, so vast, it will escape the perception. That's accurate. I've said that in my videos before. Those who will see it will be thought of as insane. Yeah, pretty much. That's what a lot of people say. We will create separate fronts to prevent them from seeing the connection between us. So, Republican, Democrat, left and right. It's masculine, feminine. There's a lot of ways that they use to divide us. Make the men earn more money now and the women not, and take their, don't let them vote, or not let an African person vote, or not let, trade. Back in the day when they were trading slaves in this country, well, all around the world, Irish slaves were actually treated worse, from what I've heard. Now, again, I wasn't there. Irish were actually treated worse than the black slaves, the African slaves, and they were paid. They were worth less money to the people who bought them. How anyone can ever buy? The whole thing's just out of balance. But the point is, it's happening. So we will behave as if we are not connected to keep the illusion alive. Our goal will be accomplished one drop at a time, so to never bring suspicion upon ourselves. They tried, but we figured it out. This will also prevent them from seeing the changes as they occur. We will also always stand above the relative field of their experience, for we know the secrets of the absolute. See, I told you, these people understand how our bodies work and what's going on. We will work together always and will remain bound by blood and secrecy. Quite literally, they are bound by blood because they do sacrifices, and once you've consumed human sacrifice, you're bound to that dark side until you choose absolutely to leave it and really put the effort in to do so. Death will come to he who speaks. That's what they say. They literally suppress anyone who speaks their truth and leaves their covenant. We will keep their lifespan short and their minds weak while pretending to do the opposite. So, Alzheimer's drugs. Oh, here, help your Alzheimer's. It's actually making it worse, guys. The pharmaceutical chemicals are making it worse. If you want to help Alzheimer's right here, I'll tell you, it's aluminum plaque buildup in the brain, fluoride. So stop introducing aluminum and fluoride in your body, and then eat natural, organic, non-GMO. So I'd like to just be able to say plants from now on, but I have to distinguish between the two because of what these out of balance egos are doing. Cilantro, spirulina. There are teas that detox. GetTheTea.com. Ronnie does amazing. I use a lot of his products, and it really helps clean out your body and remove this poison that they've been purposely doing. And they want to keep our minds weak. So you see, public education, TV, indoctrination, while pretending to do the opposite. So they always wrap it. They'll say, "Oh, here's a lie," but they'll wrap it with some truth, so your conscious mind allows it. We will use our technology of science. We will use our knowledge of science and technology in subtle ways, so they will never see what is happening. That right there. Actually, 1G through 5G, so all of them. We will use soft metals, aging accelerators, and sedatives in food and water. Right there. Fluoride. What else? Also in the air, geoengineering. They will be blanketed by poisons everywhere they turn. Blanketed by poisons everywhere they turn. The soft metals will cause them to lose their minds. Actually, here, let's do this. Just slide that right there. That's perfect. And this, we'll put this over here. Put this right there. Put that right there. What else do we have over here to add real quick? Oh, look at that. There we go. Oh, there's another one. more. Oh, wait. There's more. Root canals. That's a problem. Leaving rotting tissue in your jaw. Thanks, doctors, for taking out the wisdom teeth. Dentists. And again, I'm not blaming. I don't mean that to sound like I'm blaming these people, because a lot of them don't know what they're doing. Most of them don't know what they're doing, in my opinion, but a lot of them do, and that's my problem right there. Okay. The soft metals will cause them to lose their minds. We will oh, that's what I want to show you. Right here, mercury fillings. So mercury fillings sitting in your teeth is going into your brain. If you're not removing the heavy metals with cilantro, with spirulina, with detoxing teas, other ways, alkaline baths, that's going to build up in your body. Asbestos. Oh yeah, they said it was all safe. Did they? Are you sure? Well, here's an advertisement. Let this magic mineral asbestos protect the building on your farm. Blah, 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 blah. I don't have a date here. But, I mean, you could just look it up. There's plenty of proof that they sold this to everybody. And DDT, spraying the chemicals on the food. That's great. Why not throw some more poison on your corn and tomatoes? That's obviously makes sense. BPA. That's just one. There's so many other compounds in these plastic bottles that... Ugh. Okay, getting back into it. We will promise to find a cure from our many fronts, yet we will feed them more poison. The poisons will be... Oh yeah, well here's one of their ways to help you. Oh, here, we're Big Pharma. We're here to help you guys. We want to put all this stuff in your body because just like Jesus in the meme said, I messed up the human immune system. I'm going to need you to inject foreign materials in 1900 years from now. Yeah, that's not how our body works at all. But if you're asleep at the wheel and you're believing what you're told, that's how it works to you. So, okay, the poison will be absorbed through their skin and mouths. They will destroy their minds and reproductive systems. Have you used any, whoops, I don't want to lose where I'm at. So have you used suntan lotion, suntan oil? Most of those have synthetic chemicals in them. Makeup, ladies. Let me just say this. I'm going to do a whole video on this too. Women, the female, this is my perspective. The female woman is, you are built with sacred geometry. We all are, men and women. But I'm a man and my magnetic attraction's towards the feminine. You are the most beautiful creation in existence. You are some of the most gorgeous beings that have ever walked the earth. And these people where are they at? Whoops. People like this, people like him, there's way more. People like these guys, there's way more out there. These people convinced you beautiful women to not only poison yourself with tons of chemicals that are just full of carcinogens designed to sit on your skin and soak in and poison you, but you also were convinced that you're not as beautiful as you really are and are taught to cover yourself in makeup that's literally synthetic chemicals. Now, again, you can do makeup correctly. You can have natural makeup, and that's fine. I'm not judging for you wanting to, throw a little bit of, mascara, whatever you're doing. Just, I'm not judging, but I'm saying there are better ways. Number one, no women need makeup at all. But number two, if you want to, you can use a harmonious one that's going to help your skin instead of harm your skin. Okay, and not only that, it destroys our reproductive organs. Your laundry detergent soaks into your skin. What do you think that's doing in your body? It's an acidic vibration. From all this, their children will be born dead, and we will conceal this information. So, that right there, when they say their children will be born dead, I'm not sure if they're meaning miscarriages and abortions, which is happening on scales that I don't even want to get into right now because of all these chemicals and side effects. But also, they mean that the children are being born without that consciousness, that connection to source, that true knowledge. But again, that's impossible to be born at. You are born connected to God. We all are. But there are things that can help, or, well, if you're looking at their side, help them hinder our connection, or try to block that connection in some way. You can never block it completely, but you can convince people that it's not there after a while. Clearly they have done that. And we will conceal this information. The poisons will be hidden in everything that surrounds them, in what they drink, eat, breathe, and wear. We must be ingenious in dispersing the poisons, for they can see far. That's absolutely correct. We will teach them that the poisons are good. That's what they've been teaching in school. With fun images and musical tones. Again, your body is sound, water, energy, it's vibration. Music affects that vibration. So back in the Nazi days, they went from 432 hertz to 440 hertz. And that right there causes a distortion. So even music is being used against us. Those they look up to will help. So celebrities, Hollywood, politicians, these people are in on it, a lot of them. We will enlist them to push our poisons. They will see our products being used in film and will grow accustomed to them and will never know their true effects. When they give birth, we will inject poisons into the blood of their children and convince them it's for their own health. I'm here to tell you right now, this is never necessary when you are aware of your true power. When you know you are source manifesting your body and you know how to do that, you will never need a vaccine. Now I've had vaccines through my surgeries and stuff. I haven't had one in years, and I never plan on getting one again. Now, these people know that, and they actually have been spraying things in our atmosphere as well, and putting it in our water and our food, as they say here. But you do the best you can, removing, eating organic, non-GMO, and cleaning up your diet, and knowing that you are more powerful than any of it anyway. So if it does get in your system, you can overpower that. You can change that frequency. You can set the tone. You have that power. But these people have to work very hard. They have to do all of this because they know how powerful we are. If you remember up here, where do they say we will use our knowledge and science and technology in subtle ways so they will never see what's happening. So they're doing this because they know how like I said here, how far they can see. Oh, so they can see far. They know how powerful we are. They know our intuition. They have to try to block that and use whatever they can. So they have their work cut out for them. But if you're asleep and not paying attention, it's gonna affect you. Okay, so they've actually convinced people to inject poisons into their babies, fresh, brand new baby, and the first thing they do, first is cut the umbilical cord prematurely instead of letting the nutrients flow into the body of the baby from the placenta. That's crucial. First and foremost, let that placenta empty out. But also, we will start early on. When their minds are young, we will target their children with what children love most, sweet things. When their teeth decay, we will fill them with metals that will kill their mind and steal their future. When their ability to learn has been affected, we will create medicines that will make them sicker and cause other diseases for which they will create yet more medicine. They will create. I say they because those people. So that's just part one. I'll do the other ones in another video because I don't want this to go on too far. My whole point was the geoengineering, and this is just to show you guys that they are doing that. They have been working at this for a long, long, long time, and they've been getting better at it by doing it for so long. But again, like I said, we are so powerful that they have their work cut out for them, and they know this. It's an uphill battle for them always. If you're out of source light, you're not connected to source, you're working in the ego against source and directly against source's the creation of source, you'll never win. But how long it takes for these conscious co-creating people to wake up and notice is up to us. So we'll get into this more in another video, but it's remarkable how much is being done around us. Here's the patent for some acoustic communication theory system. Yeah, alright, we'll get into this more again. Alright guys, didn't mean it to be so dark and gloomy if it was, but you know, I like to call it how it is and see what I, you know, explain what I see. But all of that being said, here, let's finish with this. CIA Director William Casey, 1981. We'll know our disinformation program is complete when everything the U.S. public believes is false. And they've been working at it very hard. George Bush Sr. was part of that, and a lot of other people. But the beautiful part is, the moment you realize what's happening and you work opposite, you work towards source within, all of that stuff that they're doing falls apart. It washes away instantly. They have no power over you anymore. So knowledge of self, inner self, and connection with source is the best defense. And it's not defense. You don't need to defend, because you are creating this reality. So once you realize what you are and how you're creating it, you no longer create those problems, and they just disappear. It's a shadow. As soon as you turn a light on, it's gone. It cannot exist. That's how it works. So I love everybody. I hope you have a great day, and thank you very much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Be well.